Guys, so now we're on to our second element of our ball mastery. These are our forward moves. Now these moves are what we see our favourite players doing. We see the Messis have been doing it for 10, 15 years, same as Ronaldo. We're now seeing players like Bernardo Silva using little body feints and forward moves. We're seeing Mbappe, very skillful players, Rashford, another skillful player. Their forward moves have been constantly practiced and worked on. When we were all young footballers, they were the same. Practice and practice. Again, for the setup, you don't need much, okay? We've kept our little box, and all I've done is I put a little marker just in the middle of the box. Now this can be anywhere. This can be anywhere, and all that's going to pretend to be is my defender, okay? And the purposes of that is for me, yes, to get my timing right, and also to help me with the execution of the skill. It makes it a little bit more realistic. So our first move is our Messi dip. Now, with the Messi dip, there's actually very little done with the ball, as it is with a lot of forward moves. When I dribble towards my defender to begin, we're going to start nice and slow, lots of little touches. Now, I'm right-footed, so I'm going to go to the right-hand side. Notice how the ball isn't going to move. I will. So I'm going to lean to my left, right down, dropping my shoulder. The objective of that, and the reason for it, is the defender comes with me, and the space is opened, and that's where I then explode into that space. Okay, so I'll do another slow one for us. So little touches up, I drop in, and then explode into that space. So we've done our first move in our forward moves, our Messi dip. Now we're going to go on to our second, which is our scissor. Okay, now our scissor take, the most famous player that we all think of when we see a scissor is Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, so yes, he's done it time and time and time again. Has he failed time and time and time again? Of course he has. It's important that we get the timing right and the execution right, but more so when I break this detail down, you'll see why he's so successful at it the next time you see him doing it. So setup hasn't changed again. Little cone in the middle, little box. My start position, I'll do it nice and slow. So again, we're going to build from the bottom, so little touches in. Now, I'm right-footed, so I want to go into the right space. And the way I do that is I'm going to lead with my left. So when I do my scissor, it's over. Again, I'm dropping my shoulder. Defender's going to come with me. When the defender comes, I can then explode into that space there. So very, very similar, guys, to your Messi dip, except there's just one more action, and it's the actual scissor. So we're up, the timing, in, drop, push. And it's that bending of this knee or that knee, depending on what side you're going to work, that's important. Scissor, drop, bend, explode. And if I just speed it up for us, so we take a touch, scissor, take. And the timing of it and the distance, I do it to the defender is really important. We can't do it too early, we haven't beat him. We can't do it too late, where we're right beside them and we drop the shoulder and that defender's tackled. So we got to get the distance right and the timing right. But don't worry about that yet. Make sure you're getting the action correct, the movements correct, and drop that shoulder. Okay guys, our next skill is a simple progression from our scissor, which was a single scissor. We're going to go on to a double scissor. Now, so far in our ball mastery, you'll notice that I've started to use and work my right side first because it's my strongest. But what's really important is that when we are doing our skills, or we're passing or shooting or whatever it may be, we have to work our non-dominant side, okay? So for me, that would be my left. The reason I do that, it's really important. To be the best footballer I can be, I've got to use my left side and my right side. Why? If there's a defender in the front of us and we've got a 1v1 and we're doing our forward moves, we can either go right or left. So I'm going to start to introduce my left side ever so slightly. So again, the progression is going to be a double scissor. You'll notice setup hasn't changed. Little marker in the middle. Doesn't have to be a cone, it can be anything. And when I go up to this defender, I've got to start now my scissor a little bit early. And the reason I have to start that early is because I've got an extra scissor to do. So it's not just one and take, it's actually two as well. All right, so again, the timing and the distance of where we produce the skill is important, but the execution is the most important bit for us. So Little touches, I'll break it down. Remember, with the single scissor, we're over, we drop. Defender comes. It looks like we're going to explode in, but this time we go over again, drop, he comes, and that's when then we explode into the space. So once more, a double scissor. 1, 2, there. Okay, so for our last forward move is our step scissor, okay? So this is the first time we're going to introduce the step over, and then we're also going to combine that into the scissor, okay? So again, notice that I'm going to start introducing my non-dominant side, which is my left. Make sure we're working both sides, guys, okay? We need to be able to produce skills, passes, shots, dribble on both sides, okay? So with the step over, first thing's a step over. It's a step over into a scissor. Now, as I approach my defender, let's say I have a teammate over there somewhere, I might go and play. And what I've done is, instead of kicking, I've just stepped over. Defender comes. I'm then going to go straight into the scissor with the same leg. Scissor, remember, drop, defenders now come this way, and I'm actually going to go into that space that he's left vacant. So we got our step, in, scissor, drop, touch.